So, if you are anything like me, sometimes you can feel like you are literally on a hamster wheel, creating content. It just never ends. You have to feed the beast, right? So, today I want to talk to you about repurposing content and what that might look like for you. So, stay tuned. Let's talk about this beast of content creation. It's just the world that we live in as people who do business and life in a digital world, right? There's not a whole lot that we can do about it. It doesn't matter if you have a brick and mortar or a all online business or a hybrid, which, by the way, if you don't have a hybrid in 2023, that's a whole nother conversation that we need to have, friends. But you need to know that you can repurpose the content that you've already created, put it in different platforms, in different mediums, and maximize the effort that you are putting out on a daily and weekly basis to get your amazing information out to your ideal clients and your audience. Okay. So some ways that you might use and repurpose your content. If you are a blogger, you might turn that into a video. If you have content that has statistics and data, you might use Canva or another platform to create an infographic. By the way, Canva has templates for infographics that make it super simple for you to input, and it looks amazing and very branded, right? So if you are a blogger and you have a series of blogs, you could turn that into an ebook. Hello, Optin. If you have a social media post that did particularly well, a carousel post or something, you could actually take that and redo it, right? So I would look back probably a few months. I wouldn't do it like from last week's content, but you could look back a few months and see what actually hit with your audience, refresh it, make sure that it is still relevant and up to date. That's, by the way, a key for all of the repurposing that you're going to do. So you want to make sure that it's always relevant and up to date, but you can repurpose it. You can give it a fresh new look on your graphic. You can change the colors on it, change a few of the words, and then repost that sucker. Repost it. Um, Make sure that you're not just randomly taking social things and redoing that, though, right? Make sure that it's something that actually hit well with your audience, and make sure it makes sense in the context of what your communication plan is for the time period that you're posting it. I do communication plans monthly. So this month, for instance, I am talking all about content and content creation. So I would look back and see which posts I might have done in the past that deal with content and content creation, and I can just repurpose those, right? If they did well. If you have a webinar, extract the audio from that and turn it into a podcast. I would say you could do the same thing with any kind of lives that you do on your social platform. Extract the audio, turn those into a podcast, people. If those did well with your audience, absolutely put it in podcast format. And then if you have a social series that you're doing, put that into a blog or turn it into a carousel post. Carousel posts, side note, are doing particularly well on Instagram right now. Um, and this is just a pet peeve of mine, you guys. It may not matter one bit to you, but if you have a carousel post on Instagram, please don't try to post it in individual pictures on Facebook. You need to contextualize what you're posting for the audience that you are delivering it to. Okay. Um, Carousel posts are not made for the Facebook platform. So if you're going to do something like that, take your first slide from your carousel and then copy all of the content and just put that in the main body of your post on Facebook. Don't try to post 7 graphics and think that people are going to scroll all the way through those. It just doesn't work the same as it does on Instagram. So a couple of notes when you're doing these things. And by the way, these are just examples of how you can repurpose content. There are so many ways. You could take a video that you did, like this one. I'm going to chop this sucker up and use it in shorts and reels. So if I do a 10-minute video, I may get 5 good 1-minute chunks that make sense in a standalone context. And I'm going to put those on YouTube Shorts, and I'm going to put them on Facebook Reels, and I'm going to put them on Instagram Reels, and I'm going to put them on TikTok. If you're creating Reels, go ahead and put them on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Here's a pro tip. And there are different schools of thought on this as well. This is how I do it. So I start creating a reel in Instagram. And then before I add music, do not add music. You can add your own voice if you're talking, but don't add music yet. So before you add the music, but I go ahead and add the what am I trying to say here, people? Clearly, I need more coffee. Um, the text on it. So any text that I'm going to do for that, I'm going to go ahead and add that. And then there's a little arrow to download it. Download that reel before you add the music, and then it's super easy to just take that from your photo catalog and put that on Reels, add music, and go. Put it on Facebook Reels, add music, and go. And you can even look for the same music across platforms so that they're all the same, although you don't have to. There's no magic there. But if you're using a trending sound, you can usually find that on multiple platforms. So that was a little side note tip for you. So let's talk about what you need to make sure that you're doing. When you're repurposing content, you want to make sure that everything is relevant and up to date, especially if you're going back a long way, 6 months to a year ago to see your content. Make sure that what is on there, like read through it, you guys. Make sure that it all still works, especially if it has anything to do with tips on social media, because that moves so fast that you've got to make sure that that tip is still valid. You don't want to put it back out into the world and have it be incorrect. People are just going to get frustrated with you. So you need to make sure that you're not just copying, pasting. Make sure that you're contextualizing for your audience. We talked about that a little bit earlier. So what works on Instagram, i.e. hashtags don't work so well on Facebook. So don't copy paste everything, including your hashtags, and just stick it on Facebook. Another thing that is different between Instagram and Facebook is live links, right? Live links work in a Facebook post. They do not work on Instagram. Here's one of my pet peeves when repurposing content is if you are doing a Facebook or an Instagram story, for instance. Instagram has this really cool little live link that you can add that into your story so that if people click it, it takes them directly to whatever you're wanting to link to, whether it's you're selling something or you're taking them to a video or whatever. You can't do that on Facebook. So a lot of times people will just go back and have Instagram put the same exact thing on their Facebook. What I do is I'll take that content, but instead of the live link, I'll cover that up with a sticker, whether it's a poll or a question or some way for me to connect with people that actually works in your Facebook stories. Because if you don't do that, you're literally missing the opportunity to connect with humans. That doesn't make sense. So don't do that. Contextualize, don't just copy and paste. And then you want to make sure that you are promoting whatever you're doing. Cross promote, you guys. If you do a post, share that sucker to your stories. If you're doing a YouTube video, share that to your social media. Around and around and around she goes, right? When you're putting out email content, put your links to your current content in your email so people can go and look at all the things that you're doing. They get more value that way, okay? And then last but not least, you want to make sure that you are using keywords appropriate to your ideal client so that the search engine is picking those up and it's optimizing all of your content across all of the platforms. If you don't know how to optimize for keywords, you can do a search on YouTube or Google, and it's SEO. I know is a little bit intimidating. It's same for me. On my blog, I have a plugin called Yoast, 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 and they actually help me optimize my for the search engines. And so I just take what I learned from Yoast and I kind of incorporate that into my other social content and YouTube description and things like that. So make sure that you're optimizing keywords that are specific to your ideal clients. I hope that you have found amazing value out of feeling the freedom to repurpose content and not have to recreate the proverbial hamster wheel on every single platform that you appear on every day. If you have found value here and you have not subscribed to this channel yet, I hope that you'll do that. Just click that little button down there, subscribe, turn on notifications. I do a new video every single week, hopefully adding value into your world and your context. And then make sure that you share this if you know somebody that would benefit from it. Hope you guys have an amazing day.